The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. After Jesus had washed the feet of the disciples, he returned to the table and said to them, "Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. I am not speaking of all of you. I know whom I have chosen, but it is to fulfill the scripture, the one who ate my bread has lifted his heel against me. I tell you this now, before it occurs, so that when it does occur, you may believe that I am he. Very truly I tell you, whoever receives one whom I send receives me, and whoever receives me receives him who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord. First of all, I would like to ask for apology. We're having some technical problems. The live streaming kept on cutting off, so we're just recording this Gospel and also the homily for your spiritual nourishment. And today we see in our Gospel today, Jesus washed the feet of the disciples. And we know during the time of Jesus, the feet is the dirtiest part of the body. They don't have shoes. They wear sandals, and so it's dusty, muddy, the feet. And so when guests will come to the house, it's relegated to the servant, not just the servant, but the lowest of the servant who would do the washing of the feet. Okay, so that's why when Jesus did this act of washing the feet, the disciples were appalled. Like, "Master, you couldn't do that. It should be the lowest of the servant who should be washing our feet." And yet Jesus did that to set an example for them. And he says here, "Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master." And yet he, the master, is performing this act of service towards his disciples. And as followers of Jesus, we need to follow his example. And we know this. We've read in Scripture about the washing of the feet so many times, and yet we struggle. We struggle to follow Jesus' example. For me, I'm very guilty with this. Here at our household here, there are times wherein I know already that the garbage is full, and yet I don't take it out. Okay? I said, I'm busy. The other brothers, they're not doing much. They should do it. I also find myself the dishwasher. I have the opportunity to empty out. I said, no, I don't want to do it. Being lazy, just being lazy. So it's in our sinful nature that the reason why we struggle to serve, it's because of three things. One, it's because of pride. We want to be great and we want to be served. When we're great, people are serving us. There's the sense of pride. That's why we don't want to serve. The second is our selfishness. We always think, what's in it for me? If there's nothing in it for me, I won't do it. So it's about me. So selfishness. The third thing is laziness, spiritual sloth. No desire to do the service because we don't see any good that we could get out of it. Okay? And yet Jesus is telling us, if you want to be great, you need to serve. It's in Matthew chapter 20, verse 26. It says here, "Whoever would be great among you must be your servant, and whoever would be first among you must be your slave. Even as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve." So what we need here is a heart transplant. We need to have a change of heart. And and hopefully, as we make this change of heart, in our first reading today, talks about how David. It says here about David. It says here, I have found David, son of Jesse, to be a man after my heart, who will carry out all my wishes. I hope that all of us, we would hear God saying that to us, that we have His own heart. And what is the heart of Jesus? It's the sacred heart of Jesus. That's why we need to ask every day, Lord, give me your heart. Give me your sacred heart. Because on my own heart, I won't be able to serve. For us to serve, we need to be humble. We need to humble ourselves. We need to consider ourselves the lowest of the lowest in order to do that. We need to serve out of love, not because of our personal gain, not because people would notice what we're doing, not because we want to be praised. We want to serve because we love that person. Even though nobody is looking, I will serve. The third thing is, we need to serve even though we don't feel like it. There's a slogan by Nike. It says, just do it. Just do it even though you don't feel it, and the feeling will follow. Okay? Yeah, if you don't like serving, just do it, and then the feeling will follow. You will find joy. There's more joy in serving than in being served. Because you are doing what Jesus is asking you to do. Now, they say that in heaven and hell, there's some similarity but also some difference. The similarity between heaven and earth is that there's a great feast. Long table there, lots of delicious food. Okay? But in heaven and hell, there's also a similarity of that is that they have long spoon and long forks. Okay? The difference is this. In hell, they try to feed themselves with those long forks and long spoons. And because of that, they couldn't feed themselves. They starved to death. But in heaven, it's different. They're using those long forks and long spoons to serve others. And when they see that they're making others happy by their service, they feel happy also. I want you to look at your household right now. Are you outdoing each other in service? We must have that atmosphere. We must have that attitude. I want to outdo each other in service. Now, we can't demand, oh, you serve me. No, we need to set a good example of service. And hopefully people will be inspired and serve also. If you are serving each other, trying to outdo service for each other, you are having a foretaste of heaven. The opposite also will happen. If you're not serving one another, you have a foretaste of what's in hell. So it's your choice. Every day, it's your choice. Do I want to serve or do I want to be served? It's your choice.